I decided while I'm waiting for my straightener to warm up, I'm going to tell the full story. I've been having really weird symptoms for the past month. I've been having like blurred vision, just like really weird preeclampsia symptoms is what I thought that it was. On the morning of Saturday, I woke up and had shortness of breath, but I'm also 24 weeks pregnant. I didn't think much of it because I'm pregnant. So that entire day goes by and I just don't feel well. Around 1:30, I take my kids out to go play in the yard and immediately my heart starts pounding, racing. It was probably over 200 at this point. I was this close to calling 911. Luckily, my aunt is a nurse and my mom had called her and she brought over all of her stuff like blood pressure cuff and everything. I'm kind of traumatized by all of this, so sorry that it's taking me a while. I didn't have my Apple Watch on when it first started and it was dead, so it took a little while to actually charge it. So I took my phone and I had set a timer for 10 seconds and I timed my heart rate and it was 180 and that was about 3 minutes after it started. So anyway, my aunt gets here, she checks my blood pressure. My blood pressure is a little bit high, so she takes me immediately to the hospital. We did find the baby's heartbeat on my Doppler. Around 3 o'clock, 2:30 maybe, I get to the hospital, I get checked in and I get everything all set up. I get an IV, I get a blood pressure cuff on me and they're starting to check for everything. I'm just gonna preface this story by saying this is probably the worst experience I've ever had at a hospital. So I'd actually got into triage to begin with, the emergency triage, and they had actually called up to L&D and they asked if they wanted me to be up there. They said no. I'm 24 weeks at this hospital. It is actually policy to send me up at 18 weeks. This one guy comes in with his assistant and she starts asking me some questions. She asks me what I'm allergic to and I tell her Tegaderm. This kind of comes into play later. And if you're not familiar, Tegaderm is the adhesive that most medical things have on them. This is after about 16 hours of my heart monitor off and it's still reacting. Again, that comes in later. So at first I'm completely alone in the room. I then have my sister-in-law come up to just be with me. I am so grateful I had her there at that point. I would have lost my fucking mind. Anyway, my heart starts going up. They actually did like an EKG on me and they were like, oh, 120 is really great for a pregnant woman. It's not great for me. That's very, very high. My resting heart rate is between 70 and 80, especially while I'm pregnant. Like I have my Apple Watch on and it's telling me that I'm about 70 right now. Anyway, they run some tests on me. They do some blood work. My blood work still hasn't come back at this point. I really wish I would have just like walked up to L&D. I had asked multiple people. This guy comes in to check my blood pressure while I'm sitting, standing up and laying down. And I ask him, I'm like, can I just be sent to L&D? His response was, I don't know. I'm fucking pregnant. That's where you need to be. So that was the second person I had asked to go up to L&D and they said, I don't know. At this point, I'm very fucking pissed. I then met my new nurse and she comes in and I said, hey, can I just be like sent up to L&D? She says, oh no, we have to wait for your blood work to be done. The doctor then comes in and I ask him, I said, can I just be sent up to L&D? I am having contractions. They are very, very close together. They are very painful. This situation is not good for my baby, not good for me. And he goes, we need to make sure that you're okay first. Me and my baby are a package deal. So I was brushed off by multiple people to not be sent up to L&D. When I first got there, it took them about 20 minutes to get someone in there with a Doppler to find my baby's heartbeat. And then it took them about 2 hours to get in there with an ultrasound to check on my baby. People think because I look young, I am young, and they can treat me like shit. So the doctor comes in again and he says, we don't have your full blood work done. If you be sent up to L&D, they're gonna have to do all of this again. And I said, okay, I'm gonna wait for them to get my blood work back. He said that it might be 20 minutes. It was 2 hours. I should have known. I mean, I just should have known. I begged them multiple times to send me up to L&D because I needed my baby to be monitored and they just blew me off. I should have just said, take this IV out of me, I'm going up there myself. Yes, I should have stood up for myself more. I should have. I'm a very non-confrontational person, especially when it comes to medical professionals. So my full blood work comes back, and it comes back with low potassium and low magnesium. So the nurse comes in and she gives me the potassium pills and all is good. About 30 minutes later, I get my bag of magnesium. This is the interesting part. She puts my magnesium up. She does not put it in my IV. So hour goes by, the alarm goes off for it to be done. It's not done. It had gone all over my bed. So we then have to wait another 30 minutes to get another bag of magnesium. So she hooks me up right this time. Yeah, the first bag of magnesium goes into my bed. The second bag, she comes back and actually hooks it up in front of me. We had been at the hospital for 6 hours at this point. So then we have to wait another hour for the magnesium to actually go through. I am so tired. I am very furious that they never checked my baby. I'm furious that they didn't take my contractions seriously. Like, this is my third child. I know what contractions are. Oh, and the doctor came in and he was like, because you are low risk for preterm labor, because you've never been into preterm labor before, you're at low risk. So we're not gonna send you up to L&D. He says, it's rare for you. And I said, yeah. All of this is rare. I've never had this. Just another thing that, like, I'm very furious about. So the entire bag of magnesium goes through and it's time to be discharged. And the nurse goes, okay, I'm gonna go get your heart monitor. And I said, what heart monitor? She's like, they never talked to you about that? No, they never talked to me about anything. So she comes in and she puts a heart monitor on me. I do not have it on right now. I told you guys in the first part that I am allergic to Tegaderm, and they didn't take me seriously. I didn't even think about it in the moment because I'm like, I already told them that I'm allergic to Tegaderm. Clearly they wouldn't give me something that I'm allergic to. That's not the case. So it is now 9:30 at night. Mind you, my heart started racing at 1:30 that afternoon. We leave and everything, they stick the heart monitor on me, they do discharge papers, and we are ready to go. Immediately once I start getting home, I start feeling my heart doing weird things again. I have my Apple Watch on at this point, is completely charged, and I'm watching my heart like a hawk. And it's still very high for my resting heart rate. But of course, the doctors thought that it was normal, that it was at 120 for me. No, that's not normal. So anyway, I go home and I start feeling my heart monitor itching, and I'm like, well, it might just be because it's like a new thing on my body. Always trust your gut. So I tell myself I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. I'm going to call my actual midwife, the on-call, because it was Sunday at that point, and see if I should keep this heart monitor on because I'm very much allergic to it. I called yesterday, I didn't get a call back, but I have my appointment today anyway. So after I had called, I was like, I just am gonna take it off. The reaction was worse than I thought that it was. Like, what if I had been deadly allergic to this thing that they had given me? Like, what then? So it is now Monday, I have my appointment today. I'm getting ready for that right now. And afterwards, I'm going to the hospital that I'm actually delivering at an hour away. So yeah, I have my appointment in just a few hours to go see my regular midwife, and she's going to like talk to me about everything that happened. And then I'm going to be sent to L&D at the hospital where I am actually delivering. This hospital that I'm going to today is amazing. This is where I went on Monday. So yes, I have been to the hospital twice in 1 week. Not fun. I'm going to see if I can get a new heart monitor that doesn't contain Tegaderm. I'm going to see what my midwife says. I'm going to see what the hospital nurses and doctors say, because none of this stuff is normal. They also checked my thyroid. I do have hypothyroidism, and they were like, oh, your thyroid is low, which means that you have hyper at this point. So I'm going to have them recheck everything. I'm going to have them recheck my magnesium, potassium, thyroid. All of those plus iron. I don't believe they checked my iron levels while I was at the hospital. I want like the full blood work done to make sure that this hospital didn't fuck up anything else. So yeah, we'll know more today and know what we're doing. I will keep you guys updated as I'm at the hospital. I will probably be there checking on the baby, checking my heart rate, checking my blood pressure, all of that good stuff. That should have been done at the hospital. Yes, I should have gone straight up to L&D. I wish that I had advocated for myself better. When the doctor came in, he had actually said, like, even though we're in one hospital, we're kind of like different units, so you would have to get all new blood work and everything done there. Which I had honestly just wished I said, like, well, you guys suck anyway, so I'm gonna go up there anyway. I was very dismissed, and this is truthfully why I don't trust doctors. This is the exact reason why I decided to go an hour away from my house to be delivered. Even though the hospital here is 10 minutes away from my house, I would rather me and my baby be safe. And this whole experience just kind of really tied it all together in a bow. I've been asked many times why I'm not going to my local hospital, and this is exactly why. So yeah, we'll know more today. I will update you guys later.